that's where the problems lead. So we've done a lot of work in making sure these elections are going to
ballot proposal. Now, there are a lot of concerns about our elections, and I think that the top one that we continually get at some of these town halls is non-citizens voting. It just doesn't happen, and I want to take you through a couple of steps to explain why that is not a real concern in Michigan elections. Michigan led the way in the 1970s in having something called voter-voter, which was spearheaded by the Secretary of State at the time, Richard Austin. And what that means is that you can go to your Secretary of State branch in our department and register to vote. So 80% of voter registration transactions in the state actually take place through the Secretary of State's office. And so when you get your driver's license for the first time, you have to provide some legal documentation showing whether you're a citizen.
And each of the decisions that are made, the most contentious decisions where there is an issue as to a ballot, remember you have both a Democrat and a Republican that's reviewing that ballot to make a decision wherever there's a point of controversy during that process. And so what I do is I sort of liken election fraud to the crime of bank robbery. And why do I do that? Because I'm not going to tell you that nobody ever tries to rob a bank. I'm just going to say it's very difficult to do, and you almost certainly are going to get caught. And that's because if you ever tried to rob a bank, hopefully no one here has, you have cameras everywhere. You have these very sophisticated alarm systems. You have the red exploding die packs. You have really significant training that's done for voting day. Now, you can't do it. It's illegal. We're going to charge you, but that has happened a handful of times. We have seen a handful of times, and really only a handful of times, where we've seen double voting occur. Now, obviously, there's a recent incident involving that's ongoing here in Macomb County. But when it happens, it gets caught and it gets identified very, very quickly. If you have more ballots than voters, it's easy to identify. And those cases are taken very, very seriously. And the thing to know about it is that we've not uncovered a single time where it happened enough that it would affect even the most local election. We're talking about a handful of times in elections where you see millions and millions and millions of people who vote. And when we do see it, know that we're working really hard at all levels of the state and the county and with the municipal actors to make sure that you have a safe and secure voting experience, and that the results are ones that you can trust, and that you can know that voting is accurate. The results of